Well, well, well. What do we have here? A mess. A mess. What's up, y'all? I'm your host, MasterBoris. As always, MasterBoris is back with another stream. Welcome. Welcome. It's a sad day for Xbox, man. Xbox, as of today, February 25th, 2026, is on hospice. So a video I done day before yesterday about the question that I saw on social media and I wanted to talk about it. Are women ruining gaming? No, like I said before, it's minuscule. They can be the portion of the problem, but they're not the huge problem. The huge problem that gaming is ruining is the people that were in those Epstein files. Yeah. Microtransactions, all of that was in there. And Activision were the main ones to be on those files talking about it with Epstein. Like I said, this is a male-dominated, activity, hobby, and also when it comes down to the industry itself, on the process of making these video games and hardware, it's a male-dominated thing. So, again, yes and no when it comes down to women ruining gaming, but not really. So we talked about that day before yesterday, and we're also going to talk about more about how bullshit it is that Sarah Bond is being blamed for Xbox failure. Xbox had been on the decline before she even became president of Xbox. Since the Xbox One. Since Don Matrick. You remember him? When he did that always online connect bull crap? Yeah. Yeah. But the thing about her, see, I don't know her from a can of paint. I never met her. I don't know what type of person she is. But she had to have an inkling that, dang, they promoted me as being like the head, one of the, presidents of Xbox to handle the situations of the ecosystem in the gaming of Xbox. I'm being set up. So you didn't think about that not one time, Sarah Bond? I'm just asking if she was to watch this video, which she probably would never see this video. You didn't think about that not one time. Me and my friend, we called it. We said that she was going to be the scapegoat if things go sour with Xbox. I got the receipts. I did a 2-hour stream where it was a podcast where we exposed the FTC documents, what Microsoft was trying to do with the gaming market, Matt Booty included, Phil Spencer included, and all the other key players that was trying to buy out the entire market, so everybody could just bow down to Xbox, pretty much. I'm paraphrasing because it's been about 2 or 3 years ago since I talked about this. And I talked about it more. I made some videos more about Microsoft and what they're planning on doing to kick it to PlayStation. I've been called this 2 or 3 years ago. The videos are still there. Nobody watched them. I don't blame you, if you don't plan on watching a 2-hour video. And then I made 2 other videos about what Microsoft's business practice is. But back to Sarah Bond. Now, that culture, that environment of working under Microsoft you know they was not about you per se. You was just a tool. You was just a tool they can use later on if things go bad, so they can soften the blow. And while Phil Spencer is doing the Homer Simpson hiding in the bushes meme right now, and he gets to go off scot-free with no backlash, but you the one dude. They threw you under the bus. When it comes down to jobs and working in corporate, it don't matter how long you've been there. Somebody in that crowd or who you working with want to take your spot or don't like you because you're a hard worker or you don't kiss their ass. You know what I'm saying? That's in every job. It don't matter if you do the good job well. What matters is the politics within the job. Who we got to break down, who we got to, make a sacrificial lamb if things go sour with Xbox? You do. As I mean Sarah Bond. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. They got rid of you during Black History Month. And the timing was just weird that, Phil Spencer, retires. Nah, they've been let go. I mean, you can soften the blow and say they resigned. That's just a way to say, that's a code word to say, yeah, they got rid of them. And now this new chick, which I talked about in my video I've done, Asha Sharma, she's about to put the final nail in the coffin with Xbox. Gently. Had no lick of experience when it comes down to gaming. Told you she was pretty much a tech worker. And plus, forgot to mention that she was also part of the Copilot AI stuff. And a lot of people are claiming that she's using AI to talk to people on social media, which I believe so. She don't have no heart in this. She was given a task by Sept Nadella that, hey, let's push Game Pass as much as we can and do away with Xbox. Just pull the plug when it's the time. Probably around this time next year, they're going to pull the plug on Xbox. But yeah, the business and the work environment of Microsoft, I would say, is very racist. Maybe covertly racist. Maybe covertly racist, yeah. It's just one of those things, man. These Caucasians, man, they be want to show out. They want to show it out and try to exert their dominance. Because without that and without the money backing them up, what do they really have for real that they can sustain on themselves? What do they have when it comes down to people that look like me that can help these guys, even though you don't really want to? You got to do it because it's a job. You got to make a living. What's it to them when things go sour where they have no money, they have no prestige, no privilege, right? But yeah, Sarah Bond was let go, and she is taking all the blame. All these closeted, also racist, Caucasian supremacists that putting out hit pieces on her, which I said it. I said it 3 years ago with me and my friend. Nobody watched that video. I even talked to Mugen Lord about it, and we called it. We knew this was going to happen, but Sarah Bond didn't, obviously. Like, she had to know, like, midway through her services as the head of Xbox, the president of Xbox, she had to know, I'm the scapegoat. There's no way in my mind that this sister didn't think that. Now, if she's one of those quote-unquote black women that think the white man's ice is colder, then again, I don't feel sorry for her. That's your fault. You thinking a lot of these people that's within our community that are turncoat, they think kissing the Caucasian man's ass is going to get them seated at the table. That's going to get them in the house. You got to understand, other races don't like it when you do that either, because they see you as a traitor. They're going to use you as a tool to, get to their agenda or where they need to go, but they don't really like you. They don't really like their own people doing that. There's got she should have got out of Dodge and saved herself this backlash, which I feel that she doesn't deserve, and rightfully so. Like, you taking all the blame of the foundation that Phil Spencer already laid out before you even got there. Planned it in 2016 of the Xbox Anywhere and Everywhere. You already planned it out, but they trying to make it seem like she was the one that did all of that. Now, I will say she did help that Activision Blizzard deal, which is a bust. And then they're going to try to, appeal or capitalize or trying to make up for it with this new Hindu chick that they got as the new boss of Xbox. But other than that, she was pretty much a spokesperson for them, for Phil Spencer. That's all you were. There is no way she didn't think that this wasn't going to happen to her. Now, all my brothers and sisters that's probably watching this stream, I need y'all to learn from this. This is bigger than gaming, okay? This is how people that don't look like us move when you're in their space. You gotta understand, these covertly racist Caucasians and other people that are like them, they're scared of us. So they'll do things in malice and violence and with prejudice. I need for quote-unquote black men and quote-unquote black women to understand the concept of time and the concept of nuances. Because it seemed like y'all not getting it. Like, what's really going on out here in these streets. Even older people. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? Because they always trying to tell us, the quote-unquote black community, to turn the other cheek. No, I'm not. I'm not. This is personal. Like I said, I don't know her from a can of paint, but it's the principle of it that they did this. And threw her under the bus, and now you have hit pieces on her in the media. These dumbass journalists, these racist journalists like Tom Warren, bitch ass, gonna try to say Sarah Bond was the downfall of Xbox entirely. She's part of it, but not entirely. Not entirely. And now she probably just like, well, here it goes. That's it. But yeah, that's it for Xbox. You can kiss Xbox goodbye. If you an Xbox fan and you are quote unquote black, bruh, knock it off. I'm saying as a business standpoint. Not the system itself. Because I have an Xbox Series X. I have 2 of them, by the way. Then again, mine's collecting dust. One of them I bought for my dad. Now, the gaming system itself, fine. But as a business standpoint, get your head out of your ass now. It's over. It's over. It's on borrowed time. It's over. Sarah Bond, if you were clueless that, like I said again, I'm talking as if she was to see this video. Then again, she will probably never see this video or probably even know I exist. If you were clueless that this wasn't gonna happen to you, man, you need to read Dr. Francis Cress Welsing books. You do. We, quote unquote, melanated folks need to pick up a book and understand racism and Caucasian supremacy is. Because if you don't, everything else is going to confuse you about it. Like I said, this is bigger than just gaming, bro. They did this on Black History Month. They are so bold because whoever, the person that is sitting at the White Office in Bison reflects how some of these racists feel about us. They are so bold, ain't they? They are so bold. You black folks gotta understand. We're in a pincer attack. Through all angles. You know what a pincer attack is? They're getting you through each side. Now, if you're familiar in War and Dynasty Warriors, they take the whole base and all sides. As a collective, they're slowly, sometimes blatantly, getting rid of people that might be our allies, people that understand our plight, people understand our struggles that don't look like us. So they can isolate us and have a one-way street to us. That's in business, economics, physically, mentally, psychologically, all across the board. Y'all taking people that I just mentioned, especially in the office, too lightly. That's how I feel it. That's how I feel. Y'all taking M. Bison too lightly. And then you see what's really going on with the whole ICE situation, doing crazy stuff Not just deporting people, but crazy stuff like sending them to the next dimension. And you know, some black folks are like, this ain't our fight. Yes, it is! Because when they done with them, they're gonna come for us next. Oh, I forgot. They already did. They already doing it. They already doing it. This Sarah Bond being let go, fired. They say resigned. Is a symbolism of that. They're getting us in a pincer attack in business, economics, you know, our culture. Do you want to be weak? Like, do you really want to be weak? I sure don't. Do you want to be seen weak or look weak? Because these races are so bold when it comes down to us, going against us. They are so bold. But then, we got turncoat mofos within our community thinking, siding with them, they're going to be safe. No, you're not. They want everything to be, quote unquote, white. At the end of the day, you're just a tool. As a community, we got to do better. But I don't know. I don't know. But the whole Sarah Bond situation, it's a tragedy. It really is. It's a tragedy for, you know, her, because, you know, I'm sure she can find some work, some other work, and people will hire her. But for her to be the first, quote unquote, black woman in this gaming space as president and being let go, fired on Black History Month, it's tragic. I don't like this at all. I feel bad for the sister. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I don't know her. But if she was on that turncoat stuff, that divesting stuff, then I don't feel sorry for her. But in principle, I feel bad for her. Because she's one of us. You know? And I don't like it when people that look like me, you know what I'm saying, as a community standpoint, get to be done wrong. Especially by people that don't look like us. But yeah. So now you got reports like this. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to go on this. Oops. That was my fault on that. Pressed the wrong button. And yeah, we definitely needed that sound bite. But that was an accident. We got hit pieces like this. This probably a lie. That says former Xbox president Sarah Bond was reportedly tough to work with. This article could be a lie. I mean, these people are journalists like Tom Warden and all these guys like him could be on Microsoft's payroll for all we know. doing hit pieces like this. So they can ruin her reputation so she won't get any work. Her being entirely blamed for Xbox's failure and for not getting better as she was president, it don't sit well with me, man. It really don't. I crashed out earlier. Day before yesterday. This would have been a different stream if I would have found this out today. But I found this out day before yesterday. That's why I did the video about the topic, I saw on Twitter, are women ruining gaming? And like I said, not really. There's more people, there's more men in this space, in the gaming industry business, that ruin gaming. Like how cool gaming used to be. But, there is some diamond in the rough games out there that are really good to play. They're just not popular. But yeah, we got articles like this. Staff praise her work ethic, but also claim that she fostered an environment where if you didn't follow the vision or question it, you were out. Yeah. I mean, that's with everybody. That's corporate one-on-one. Or if they didn't follow her vision, they would quit themselves. Because these racist Caucasians don't like to be told what to do from quote-unquote black folks. They don't like that. But yeah, we got articles like this. The Verge, that Tom Warden hit piece he put out on her. This says former Xbox employees were relieved to hear Bond's departure. Sources reportedly told The Verge that Bond had been tough to work with, and she's allegedly created a work environment where if you didn't follow the vision or question, you were out. As the de facto mastermind behind the Xbox controversial, this is Xbox. No, it wasn't her. It was Phil Spencer. Why I keep saying that? It's a lie. It was doing that before she became president. Stupid assholes. In which Microsoft made a point to suggest that everything could play Xbox games. The Verge claimed that Bond's strategies had been failing internally and questioned multiple times. She also wasn't much of a gamer in a way that Spencer was. Spencer ain't playing no games like that. And the falsehood of her public persona supposedly being manufactured solely for appearances. Despite the issue, sources still praise Bond for her work at Xbox, particularly when it came to her strengths and inkling deals with companies. See, what I was telling you about the Activision Blizzard deal. And developers. And for her part, she said in her announcement memo, now is the right time to step down. They told you, you got to get going. You gone. Thank you for being a DEI hire. And while Bond's departure may feel sudden, it apparently wasn't that surprising to the current and former employee The Verge spoke to. They explained that they saw writing on the wall since last year, especially since her direct reports have changed so frequently. It's worth noting, though, that Bond is a black woman in the technology industry. Maybe she did foster a toxic work environment, but the discourse around the departure does highlight the disparity in how we talk about her career versus Spencer's. Not liking someone or finding someone difficult to work with is very common. While certain possible, she was cutthroat in her approach. She is also a woman of color of an executive level in an often white, male-dominated field. What did I say earlier? That matters not as a dismissal of behavior, but as recognition of the work and games technology industry still need to do. I don't even want to read the rest of that. But yeah, you see, But yeah, there's something else I want to show you. Hold on for a second. Something else I want to show y'all. Where is it? Okay, so we got this bull crap. Now this is Ed Fries, this guy right here. He was the former head of the Microsoft Game Studios. He says we need Xbox console because they're American. Xbox is our chance to express American culture through gaming. He notes that Nintendo and PlayStation console makers are from Japan. I know exactly what he meant. See, you see how covertly, these people are, man? I know exactly what he meant. They still hating the fact that Japanese can make quality games and hardware that they want to take it all for themselves. That's been going on since the 80s. Since Japan dropped Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay? When they mostly had the gaming market share back in those days. They've been wanting to get rid of Japan since then. And they're still trying to do it now. Buy up all these studios and these developing gaming companies. Put them on foreclosure, not using them. Not making any quality games with the Xbox. And just dominate the market that way. Buy the chip. That was the name of the episode of the podcast I did with my friend Antonio. When we stated that Sarah Bond was going to be in the predicament that she's in now, and everything Microsoft was doing in those emails, Matt Booty in them, because those were, the FTC wanted when they was going to court for this Activision and Blizzard deal. So, yeah, man. You can't get no covertly racist than that. I know exactly what he meant. We wanted to beat Japan. See, they can't compete, so they use their resources to buy out the competition. Hope you understand that. Like how Netflix is trying to buy out the theater movies, and streaming. Netflix is doing the same thing. And Paramount. They're trying to, monopolize TV, movies, all entertainment, and television, They're doing the same thing. That's what Microsoft tried to do with gaming. Want to monopolize the gaming market and have it all to themselves. They don't want to compete. They never cared about games. I keep telling y'all, they never cared about games. They just want to have a space where they can control everything. You an Xbox fan, I'm here to tell you something. Microsoft, Bill Gates, Matt Booty, they never cared about gamers or gaming in general. Okay, I will say this. Maybe people that were passionate about making games, the developers, probably did. But the main key players that's making the most money, that's on top of the food chain, no. I'll rephrase that. Because, there are some people that probably work for the company. They really like games, but they don't have a voice. They're at the bottom rank. See what I'm saying? But the key players, the guys that owns, Xbox, there's a head that's in the high top of the corporate ladder. They don't. They don't. They never did. Since day one. They just wanted to buy out the market. They ain't really want to compete with Sony, Nintendo. No. They didn't want to play fair. But yeah, it's crazy in the hood. Then, now, there's a particular interview, rather, article. I want y'all to see real quick. Where it go? This guy, his name is Seamus Blackley. Now I'm gonna put this GamesBeat.com article he did. What was it? Yesterday? Day before yesterday. This is how he look now. This is how he looked back in the day. One of the founders of Xbox. You know, he was there since day one of Xbox. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But that was a question that GamesBeats asked him. And I want to read what Seamus said. Okay. Now, I'm going to put the article link in the description after I'm done with this stream. So y'all can take a look at it. Because y'all need to read this article for real. About what he's saying here. Ever since the news broke down. Now, GamesBeat says, tell me what you mean about how things are going. They're pretty much asking him about where gamers are heading. For Microsoft, dog, Satya Nadella has made an incredible number of bets and invested an incredible amount of money and credibility in the transform model AI future. Xbox, a lot of businesses that aren't the core AI business. And being sunsetted, they don't say that, but that's what's happening. Sunsetted means, like I said earlier, this new CEO, Asher Sharma, like I said, Xbox is on hospice, and Asher Sharma one day is going to pull the plug. Because Xbox is a vegetable as of today. Before I continue, let me ask you a question. What Xbox Series X exclusive game you are looking forward to in 2026 besides Forza? Name me one. Name me one. Don't worry, I'll wait. That you can only play on Xbox. Not PlayStation. Not Nintendo. Not PC. Only on Xbox. Name me one game you're looking forward to this year. Besides Forza Horizon 6. And also, that's coming out on PlayStation as well. But name me one. That's exclusively to the new Xbox system that we got right now. Which is Xbox Series X. And they're supposed to come out with Xbox Madness. The code name is Madness. The 10th generation. Heard they said it's going to come out this year. Later on this year. But I think if they're going to do that, they want first dibs on Grand Theft Auto 6. That's probably the main reason they want to hurry up and come out with this 10th gen Xbox console. Because this is the last stretch for Xbox. This is the last stretch. But yeah, that's probably the reason why they'll probably rush Xbox Magnus, this new Xbox console that's supposed to come out this year, so they can get first dibs of Grand Theft Auto 6. That's the main reason why. And me and my friend, we discussed that the other night. But I'm the first to tell you that on here on this platform. Anybody else says that? No, I'm probably pretty much the one that probably said it first. Said it before you. It's just that I don't get the views that I deserve. Because I'm pulling out some information, good information here that people should know and spreading awareness. But YouTube be tripping on me. But yeah. Again, what Xbox exclusive game you're looking forward to in 2026? Name me one. I'll wait. Name me one. You can't name me one? They haven't announced an Xbox exclusive game? Like, give me an incentive. Besides the point that I already got an Xbox Series X, give an incentive for new gamers to get an Xbox Series X today. Give me an incentive. Can't think of nothing else. Let's ride out. Let's go back to the article. So, he said Xbox being sunsetted, like I said earlier. They don't say that, but that's what's happening. I expect the new CEO, Asha Sharma, her job is going to be a palliative care doctor who slides Xbox gently into the night. I can't even talk. It just seems really true. I imagine asking somebody if it made sense to put a major motion picture studio into the hands of somebody who didn't like movies, or a major record label into the hands of somebody who never seen a live show. Why would you do that? Well, you only do that if you're looking at the problem in more of an abstract way. The natural consequences of the focus on is AI, and that AI abstracts every problem from the minds of the executives who believe in it. We're abstracting the problem of games as well. There's a core belief, and you can see in what Sept said, that AI would subsume games like it would subsume everything. The job of all these people is to greatly usher all the businesses units into the new world of AI. That's what we're seeing here. Whenever you agree with it, whenever you agree with AI having a potential to do that, whenever AI will be successful is a separate matter. But that's what we're seeing. There is no that is in no way surprising. It would have been shocking if they had somebody in there in a meaningful role who was passionate about games, passionate about creator-driven business and games, because they will be in a direct conflict with everything else Microsoft is doing. Microsoft is a company that is now about enabling its consumers by enabling AI to drive things. That's at odds with the auteur model of any art, but specifically of games. Microsoft doesn't have the problem that Apple does or that Netflix does, where they have an auteur-driven content model to manage. Games are only place where they have a content business. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's a little bit of that. This Asher Sharma, that's what they're planning on doing. Relying on AI for these games. Everything she is saying on the platform, on Twitter and other interviews, is a lie. She's being nicely about it. She's going to put the final nail of the coffin to Xbox and be done with it. You know, this is the last stretch, like I said earlier. It's sad. It's sad indeed. I ain't gonna lie. I really liked it, the Xbox 360. They had an edge because of the online. PlayStation, Nintendo didn't do theirs until later with the online services. But that's why they got ahead of the game market. And plus, the Xbox 360 had a year head start against the PlayStation 3, because I had to set somebody straight about Xbox 360 beat the PS3 PS3 won overall, and U.S. sales and global sales all around the world. Xbox is nothing and outside of U.S. Okay, I even got the stats to prove it. But yeah, it's very sad indeed that Xbox is about to meet its end. It's about to meet its end. You know? So. But yeah, I hate that for Sarah Bond being blamed for everything. And ruining her reputation. Because all those articles that they're putting out for the past 48 hours are lies. She's part of the problem, but not entirely part of the problem. You see how these Caucasian mofos get away with stuff? Because they be putting mostly, quote unquote, black women in front of everything. Like, they getting shot at, and they will use, quote unquote, black women as a meat shield to dodge all the bullets that's been thrown at them. That's what they did with Sarah Bond. And now they replace her with a Hindu that's going to nail in the coffin. It's going to put the final nail in the coffin with Xbox. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking about this because I'm going to get more mad. We're going to move on to the next topic. Something very, like, the timing of it is kind of strange. He just had a birthday yesterday, and I'm just now looking at this right here. Okay. I'm looking at this. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Unretired. As of today. He's now going to be training, getting fit, and getting ready. Well, with this exhibition, with this Mike Tyson fight, which I don't really too care for that. You know, it's an exhibition. And then he's going to fight Manny Pacuiao. September 19th on Netflix. See what I'm saying? Netflix got the pay-per-views and the streaming and the movies and the anime. They all want to consolidate stuff and monopolize the media business. Anyway. So, they announced they'll face off once again September 19th at the Sphere in Las Vegas. After years of near misses, Mayweather, who is 50-0, 27 knockouts, Pacquiao, 62-8, 3 draws, 39 KOs, finally met in May of 2015, with Money emerging the clear victor against an injured Pac-Man. Now, I will say during that time, Pacquiao was juicing. But anyway. The intervening decade has seen Mayweather make a killing off the exhibition circuit while making a pair of quick pit stops to beat Andre Berto and Conor McGregor in the paid ranks. He reportedly set a warm-up for his rematch against Mike Tyson sometime this spring. Pacquiao, for his part, sits on 5-2-1 since that evening, initially retiring after losing his WBA title to Yordenis Ugas in 2021. He returned last year to fight Mario Barrios to a draw. Barrios, man. Dang. He is not the same fighter, man. I see, you know, I looked at some of the highlights when he fought Ryan Garcia. Crazy. Anyway, he too has an exhibition on the docket against Ruslan Provanokov on April 18th. I'll say the same thing I did about the exhibition. If they insist on continuing to fight at this stage of their careers, they might as well fight each other. I already fought and beat Manny once, say Mayweather. This time it will be the same result. Floyd and I gave the world what remains the biggest fight in boxing history. Fans have waited long enough. They deserve this rematch. It'll be even bigger now that it'll be streamed live globally on Netflix, said Pacquiao. I want Floyd to live with the one loss of his professional record and always remember who gave it to him. Now, Pacquiao is no joke, okay? He probably both of them are pushing 50 years old. These guys are pushing 50 years old. Now, this fight can go two ways. Mayweather will get tired, or Pacquiao gonna get tired. Who gonna get tired first? Is who's gonna be the victor, bro? Okay. Listen. As we get older, stuff diminish. You know, we're not as fast, or you know, I would say unbreakable, for lack of a better word. You know, like we was in our 20s. These guys are pushing 50. 50 years old, both of them. And you think you're going to get a quality match like they did in 2015. They should have fought like at least about 3 or 4 times already. 3 or 4 times. Like they should have did that. They should have fought 3 or 4 times by now. But this is their second fight against each other. You know what I'm saying? That would have been cool in 20, you know what I'm saying, 16, 17, 18. Now, it's whatever to me. You know, I'm going for the money team. You already know. You know, I don't know why. You know, if people ask me who I'm going for, the money team. What you mean, Mayweather? I just wish he stayed retired. I think Mayweather is making the mistake unretiring himself. Because what's the real issue here? Why are you unretiring from boxing all of a sudden? Like, the timing is weird. Like, you ain't eating no more? Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Or I guess he just missed boxing. He missed throwing down, you know? There's a lot of boxers, they have passionate for the sport. And then when they retire, they're bored. You know, I hear Oscar De La Hoya, he says it all the time. Like, man, it's just sad when you ain't boxing no more. You know? Like, he want to get out there, you know? But he can't fight no more. It's weird timing to me, you know. I don't really have pretty much nothing to say about this, but it's gonna be, it's not gonna be a fight where you gonna see a slugfest between these two now. Now Pacquiao, he got damages. He got damage on his punch. So if Floyd Mayweather turned the wrong way and Pacquiao get him, that's it for Mayweather. That's KO. Like, Mayweather cannot make any mistakes fighting Pacquiao. You know? Because Pacquiao's a hard hitter. You know? Like, he cannot make any... Mayweather, you cannot make no mistake, you know, dodging his attacks and get the, you know, the upper swing on him. Because you make one wrong move, that's it. I can say the same for Pacquiao. Mayweather get like a little punch in, you know, but we just gotta have to see when the fight commence. You know, we're just gonna have to see. I'm not really feeling it myself, but I guess when it actually happens, it'll probably be It'll probably exceed my expectations, but my expectations of this fight is very low. How it's gonna be, because we're about to see guys that are pushing 50 years old fighting each other like they're 25. Yeah, and this is gonna be tough. If Mayweather lose, that's gonna ruin his legacy. I know how cliche that sounds, but it is true. That's gonna ruin his legacy if Mayweather lose, because he has no losses. He hasn't lost a fight ever. He's 50-0. For Pacquiao, even though he lost fights, that's gonna bring his prestige into a higher level if he beats Mayweather in this fight. And he's gonna talk about it to the day he die. For the rest of his life. And he has the right to have bragging rights. He has the right. If he beats Mayweather in this fight. We're just going to have to wait and see. That's all I got to say about it. Yeah. But, let the best man win, bro. Let the best man win. But yeah. Now I'm about to talk about the FG. I'm about to be part of the FGC territory when it comes down to topics now. And then I'm going to wrap this up. So Evolution has been completely bought out by Saudi Arabia. And here we are. Beginning of the next evolution. All the guys that used to be at EVO, been gone, like PDF, Mr. Wizard, the Cannon Brothers, the whole 9 yards that blackballed dead or alive to be at EVO in the main lineup. All of them are gone. Been gone. But who didn't see this coming, where the reaction of this news divided, where EVO is going to be in different countries from here on out all the way to 2030, because they have an agenda to EVO to be more competition, more accessibility for players to enter and be there, because they're doing it in different countries. So, now I ain't about to read all this. I'm just going to give you the rundown. They're going to have EVO in Brazil, Morocco, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, China. I think they announced Singapore. And also Japan and France. They ain't going nowhere. In Las Vegas. Okay? So they're going to have new locations. You know? So I want to talk about this for a second. Since when EVO has been prestiged? Where did that come from? Who was the first person to say it was prestige? Are you kidding me? Now, we know EVO is changing and it's different, and they're going to have different staff, and it could change for the better. But back, you know, when PDF, Mr. Wizard, was a spokesperson, and the Cannon Brothers was in charge, you think EVO is prestigious? You FGC jabronis make me laugh, bro. Nowhere near prestigious. Nowhere near it. What's up, Shiji Khan? You are late. You are way late to the party, man. I'm about to wrap this up. EVO was never prestigious. Sure, it had other people from different countries, mainly Japan, come to EVO Las Vegas to compete. But we can say something about that too, because, you know, EVO staff pretty much flew characters like Daigo and Tokido out to compete at EVO. Oops, I'm not supposed to say that. But I'm not in the FGC! Not anymore! NA, North American FGC, is cooked. Okay. And Saudi Arabia people realize it as this country is slowly turning. Well, if the general public allow this, that this country is turning to authoritarianism. I probably botched that word, but y'all get the point. That's why they're doing this. That's why they're going to have EVO in different locations. You just got the notification of this stream? Bruh, I've been streaming for 1 hour and 9 minutes. So you just... See, I told you YouTube is tripping, bruh. YouTube is tripping on me, man. So you just got the notification, like it just popped up on your phone. I can't win, y'all. They don't want me to win. They don't want me to win, man. All right. I'm gonna wrap this up. But about the EVO situation, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Y'all say y'all want more money. Y'all want to get paid by competing in these fighting games. Well, here you go. Here you go. But y'all mad now? This is what y'all wanted from the beginning. Because, you know, the FGC ain't really making money, man. Because y'all too cheap to, like, donate and put things in the pot. You know what I'm saying? They're not really making a huge profit when it comes down to fighting game tournaments. That's why certain fighting game tournaments are no longer here anymore. Because they're like, yo, grassroots FGC for what? If I can barely, you know what I'm saying, have my lights on, what's the point in doing it? Because it was too many close calls for tournament organizers to keep the lights on because they're doing this FGC events. Grassroots, as you call it. But, you know, corporate and esports were coming. Now they're here. They've been here for the longest time. But they're mostly doing games like League of Legends, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Apex Legends, Valorant, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals. And now it's fighting games' turn. And y'all not happy about that? I thought this is what y'all wanted. Don't you want to get paid the big bucks by winning in tournaments instead of fight stick money or going back home money with a one-way plane ticket? For some of you, whatever, depending on where you live. Like, like EVO paid Was it Little Majin 1 year? I could be wrong. I think he got $800 getting third place for Tekken 7. What the heck he gonna do with $800? What am I gonna do with $800 getting third place at EVO? It's time for the big bucks, man. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all FGC guys is probably watching this video or this stream. Button check. Look, I don't care. Y'all asked for this, but they're doing it in a different way. Y'all wanted this all this time. Then again, they're doing it in a different way that you probably don't even like. But y'all talking about EVO's procedures. You saying the same people that blackballed dead or alive for the longest to be in the main lineup, we're just now getting Virtua Fighter in the main lineup at EVO. Virtua Fighter has not been in the main lineup at EVO since 2003. Or 2004. We're in 2026 and Virtua Fighter is getting to be in the main lineup at EVO. Y'all don't even do fighting games that is current for real. Even like when EVO was going on in 09, 010, all the way to 2015. Y'all will bring up old stuff like Marvel 2 still. Or Super Turbo. EVO was a Capcom based fighting game tournament and everything was in the back burner. Because that's mostly what everybody was good at. Street Fighter, Marvel, Tekken, but a little suspect there, but and some anime fighters that only 25 people will play. And yeah, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 9 was fun at EVO. Shout out to Perfect Legend. Shout out to, Tom Brady. And all those other guys that competed during those times. For Mortal Kombat, 9 and X. But yeah, EVO was never prestigious, man. You know what was prestigious? SBO. KVO. Master Cup. And now this Esports World Cup. So I want to tell y'all something, because I remember I went to my local gaming store, and there was these guys. They just graduated from high school, and they love fighting games. They want to compete in it because they say they was really good at it. One guy, he was a Street Fighter player, and one guy was a KOF player. And I told them young cats, because they asked me like, where do I start to get in the door when it comes down to the fighting game tournaments and compete? And I told them, get your passports and compete overseas. Straight like that. Get your passports and compete overseas. Especially the guy that's a Kings of Fighters player. Because nobody in the U.S. play Kings of Fighters like that. If so, American players will be better players in all other fighting games. Nobody play KOF like that. Or SNK games, for that matter. Street Fighter, yeah. But KOF, bruh, go overseas. Go to Brazil, Mexico, European countries. Go there and compete. Get your passports and become a passport bro in fighting games. That's what I said. Because NAFGC is cooked. What's good, Big Devin? Yeah, y'all late to the stream, man. Y'all gonna have to look at this when I'm done, man. Cause I dropped some bombs on this stream, man. I'm kind of tight because of what happened. But yeah, NAFGC is cooked. All right. Nobody don't want to go outside. Nobody want to do locals anymore. You know, if they do, people don't show up unless it's Street Fighter or there's a fighting game they like. But that, in my city where I'm from, they're starting to get better, but it's all about Fortnite, Call of Duty, Roblox, Valorant. But the fighting game people play the most where I'm from is Super Smash Bros., which is nothing wrong with that. I recently went to a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Tournament and I got 4th place in it. And then that's me not playing the game competitively in a long time. But yeah, this country is turning into authoritarianism. Or totalitarianism, or an oligarchy. I can't even talk today. Well, oligarchy. That's what it's turning into, and they know. That's why the Saudi Arabia people's like, nah, you gonna compete in different countries, and the people that they'll probably have trouble getting visas trying to travel to EVO Las Vegas. They don't really have to do that. They can just stay in their hometown and wait to compete EVO there, because there's times where international players can't make it to EVO because their visa gets denied or it comes in late. They get it late, and and it's annoying. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? But the FGC. Like, y'all, you gotta understand, man. Y'all lack nuances. The FGC. Some of you don't understand the concept of nuances and the concept of time. Y'all say adapt and lab, but you don't do it. And we are a community. We all this together, but I don't see none of y'all outside. Y'all want to play online all the time and do Tampa Never Sleeps. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But y'all don't even want to go outside. Y'all don't want to meet and see new people. Y'all don't want to get y'all ass whooped in these fighting games. Then you got people like, oh, I ain't going to EVO. I'm not supporting EVO no more. Okay. So you don't want to go 0-2 again. Okay, got you. I think they're going to be just fine without you. But this is what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted the big bucks. Here you go. Because if I recall, like, a lot of people that entered the Esports World Cup, they got over $10,000 placing at top 8. But you get 3rd place at EVO, you get paid $800. It might be lower than that. I gotta ask Lil Majin again. How much he got paid at EVO for placing 3rd place for Tekken 7? $800. Are you kidding me? And you call EVO prestigious? You FGC boys kill me, man. You know what I'm saying? Plus, they don't know how to run brackets correctly, from what I'm hearing. There'll be times where you ready to play, and you play right, and then you gotta wait X amount of hours to play again with your bracket. Like, they don't have a good time frame. It's not organized. And a lot of FGC tournaments that I went to were like that as well. Like, I play at 2 o'clock, right? I get there, so I won't get DQ'd. But then they say I'm not ready yet. Like, what? And I have to wait an hour or 2 hours to play my set, to play my match. Then I have to do that all over again. I'm hot to the point I get cold. Like, the flow of tournament bracket running is very abysmal. It's very abysmal. Like, it gets to the point where you don't even want to play no more. Like, god dang, man. Like, I don't even feel like playing though. I feel like getting something to eat. But they got me sitting here waiting on whatever. And they just so disorganized. It's not a steady flow when it comes down to running pools and brackets. You know? But hopefully that changed for the better since we got new ownership and management for EVO. And all tournament organizers that's still in this FGC tournament game can follow suit. Because it needs it. The FGC in America needs a new facelift. But other tournaments I'm hearing overseas, it's cool. And that's what, you know, if I was to compete again, I would compete overseas. And that's when I told these young cats at that local gaming store I go to, get your passport and compete overseas because there are better players over there anyway that have you level up quickly. And they're all about community when it comes down to getting better in fighting games. Because they need competition too. Wherever you at, Germany, Japan, you know, Africa, France, all that. But yeah, EVO, is it going to change for the better after this new buyout and management from Saudi Arabia? I don't know. But I hope for the best. Because you FGC guys need a facelift when it comes down to fighting game tournaments, especially in North America. But yeah, that's all she wrote. You not supporting it, or you supporting it, is up to you. The show will go on with or without you. Grassroots been gone in the FGC. I don't know why y'all try to hold on to that as a talking point. It's been gone. I remember Triforce called this years ago. He called it, and it's happening. Because, you know, sometimes there is some greed, but there's times I'm like, all right, come on, yo. We supposed to get a bigger pool than this. Especially, you know, the gaming companies can get more involved into the scene, and they can put out more money than this. Especially, you know, like Capcom and Warner Brothers. Now SNK, since they're all now owned by Saudi Arabian Prince. I can put more money into these tournaments just like I do for Overwatch and Marvel Rivals and Call of Duty tournament. But yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to gradually get there. You asked for it, and now y'all mad. The reaction of this is divided. Because they want to talk about EVO prestige. Man, get the heck out of here. Well, yeah, y'all. I'm about to wrap this up, y'all. Thank y'all for supporting me on the YouTube side of the game. Twitch, I don't know, because I ain't seen y'all in the chat. I don't know if y'all lurking, but I see the views on YouTube. It's better than Twitch. I don't know, man. I might just stream on YouTube from now on. I don't know. Now, everything, well, if you go back and listen to everything I said on this stream here, for those of you that missed it, take what I said into consideration, especially when I was talking about Sarah Bond. Okay? You know, the Xbox thing and whatnot. Because y'all need to understand the concept of time and the concept of nuances. And how some people that don't look like you are against you. Even though, which I would never do, you're kissing the Caucasian man's ass. So they won't be afraid of you. No, don't do that. Don't sell yourself short. Or anybody for that matter. They don't have to be Caucasian. Anybody for that matter. Like, have some power within yourself. Especially as a black man. If they fear you because you exist, let them fear you. Let them fear you. Don't do nothing to them. Don't do nothing. I can't even talk to that. Don't do nothing to them if they ain't doing nothing to you. This turn the other cheek stuff. And I saw that clip when Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo was presenting an award and a racist called them the N-word. You see what I'm talking about? Hold them accountable and let them know there's consequences of that. This turn the other cheek stuff. All right, degenerate Sharingan. Put them in chat. It's always us. We have to be the big person of the situation. But they don't. They can just say and do whatever they want to us. And we just gonna be like, yeah, I'm turning the other cheek. Fuck that. And that, I'll leave y'all with that. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm MasterBoris. I'm out. Peace.